Hi guys, Francois here for peel3d. So today I have a special project that I want to show you. I have this Christmas ornament that's actually been in my family for a while now. My parents really like it, but unfortunately it broke over the years and they couldn't find the missing limb. And so my dad asked me if I could try to scan it, duplicate the missing part, and basically fix the thing. And so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to scan this ornament using a GoScan 20 and see if we can reproduce the missing limb using VX model. So of course I don't see this as quite a common application, but I still think it's interesting for you guys to see how it's done and what can be done with the software itself. So enjoy this video.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is to capture the shape of our ornament, and so I've placed it on the table. This is our regular turntable, and I've put our little turtles all around. So these are support for targets at an angle, so it really helps when you're doing grazing angle and capturing your object at different angles. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to digitize this scan in different positions, and then I'm going to show you how to merge these different scans directly into VX elements. I'm going to flip my part onto my turntable. I'm going to hide the scan, and then I'm going to scan again. So scanning in a different position like that allows me to see other areas of the object that were difficult to see in the previous position. And so I'm just going to collect all the data like this. So we're going to speed things up a little, and once I have all my session captured, I'm going to show you how to merge them afterwards.
Okay, so we have finally captured all three scans, and now I'm going to show you how we're going to align them and merge them. So we're going to go into merge here, and we are going to use the best fit merge with manual alignment. And so what we're going to do is roughly put them in similar position and select approximate 3 matching points, as I'm doing here. Now we're just going to press best fit here, and we're going to do the same with the second scan here. So again, I'm just going to hide this for a second. Just put them into similar positions, select matching points, and again, this doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be roughly the same place, and then the best fit is going to do the magic. Here we go. All of our 3 scans are aligned, and now we can also do a global registration, and we're just going to press merge here using the same resolution of 0.3 millimeter. Alright. Just going to show the model itself. So we have all 3 scans merged together. And although this is not perfect, I could add some additional data here and there, but this is going to be good enough for what we want to do today. So now we're going to move on to the post-treatment step. Okay, so we have our scan here, and so the first thing we're going to do is to clean it, align it, and make it watertight. And to do so, we're going to go to VX model. So we're going to create a mesh here. Now I'm just going to hide the texture because it's not going to matter into our project. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run the clean mesh here. This is an automatic function. It's going to scan our part and find, all these tiny details that don't work and fix them automatically. go. Now we're going to align it automatically. There you go. I'm just going to hide the original mesh here. There you go. Alright, so our file is already cleaned and aligned. Now I'm just going to get rid of all these little spikes there, here and there. So we're going to run the remove spike function. Just going to make it progressively more and more aggressive. There you go, up to, I like to run it up to, all the way up to 95. There you go. This is already looking pretty good. And now we are missing some areas, and we are going to make this file watertight. There we go. And here we go. So we now have a watertight model of our ballerina, complete and aligned. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use the existing hand in order to recreate the missing part here. And now our next step is going to be to use that existing hand here and duplicate it and create the missing part here. And so in order to do that, I'm going to duplicate here this mesh. I'm going to rename this one. This one will be the hand. And so what I'm going to do now is just to show that model hand here. Got to use freeform selection, select through, and basically isolate the hand part here. So I selected it, selected through, to reverse selection, going to delete it. So now I have a hand, but it's still a left hand. So I'm going to turn it into a right hand using the mirror function here. I'm going to draw a line, draw a plane. There we go. Now I don't need that one anymore. And now I have my mirrored hand. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to align it to my model, doing a best fit. There you go. So I'm just going to roughly align it manually. So this is the exact same thing as when I was merging scans together. Just going to use approximate set points. There you go. So now you see my hand is roughly at the right place, but still not perfect. So you see how it looks. Now I'm just going to fine tune my alignment. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the original severed wrist surface, and I'm going to merge that surface with this new handpiece that I just created. Next thing I want to do is to cut the excess surface here, something that we don't want, and create the exact missing piece in order to complete our ornament. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hide the hand but keep it selected, and you see I'm going to rely on the actual surface of the severed wrist here, just like that. Now I'm going to take my rectangle, no, I'm just going to use the freeform selection tool, and I'm going to, so you see now I actually selected surface of my hand, but with it being hidden. So you see, selected this area of the hand here, and I'm going to delete that surface. There we go. And now just going to isolate that surface here. Go, Control I, delete. And so what I'm going to want to do next is to merge that hand surface here with the remaining part of that wrist here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to select my ballerina surface here, and as funny as it may sound, this entire surface I don't need. The only thing I'm interested in is the wrist area here, so I'm going to do a selection. I'm going to use the freeform again, and I'm going to delete that entire surface. And now I'm going to do a boundary selection here, and I'm going to extend my selection up to my surface. And this is a little uneven, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to use the brush selection here. So what I'm really doing is isolating what's going to be my mating surface. My new hand piece. Getting better. Good. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is to inverse flip the normal on that surface here. Because it was an external surface, now it becomes an internal surface. There we go. So now I have my missing piece here, and I have my mating surface, and now I'm going to join them together. So I'm going to combine them. So this is going to turn them into a single surface, but now they're still disjointed. So I'm going to use the whole filler. I'm going to start by creating a bridge here. So bridge it from there. There we go. Now I'm just going to fill this. That. Okay. Now if I show you. Now I have a missing hand, and I'm just going to check. All right. So now we're just going to see if it fits with our ballerina. Okay, so things are now looking pretty good, and what's actually interesting is since our hand here and the wrist share the same surface, they're perfectly aligned. And last thing we can actually do is use some functions in VX model in order to improve our surface here. So we could do a little improvement using the sculpt function. So I'm going to go very mildly, but we could do things like basically correct any deviation or hole or bump into our surface. We can also use the sandpaper here. Very mild, very low strength, and just sand it a little. There you go, just to make that as clean as possible. Can't sand any tiny thing we don't like. And so yeah, this is looking now pretty good, and we could use these same tools in order to sand our wrist area here if we wanted to, but things are looking pretty good. And now if I just show you the isolated hand, there you go. It's looking pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do now is to send it to my resin 3D printer, have it printed, and see how it fits on the actual model.
Alright, so all done printing here. I have the part with me, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually looking pretty good. This thing has a lot of details and it's looking fantastic. So it just finished curing with my 3D printer. And now we're just going to see. So I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it actually goes the other way around. Like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it actually fits perfectly right there. So I'm just now going to put a coat of primer paint, going to glue it into place, and do a match paint with some acrylic paint and show you the final result.
And there we go, our part is fixed. Things are looking great. The Go Scan worked perfectly. The part turned out highly detailed. I'm really happy about it, and I know my parents are going to be pretty happy about it too. I want to thank you for watching this video, and as a token of my appreciation, I'll put in the comments below a link to download the entire ornament if you want to print it at home. So wish you some happy holidays, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.